Hi, so this video is called the Fandom Menace Manifesto, and that's really because what it is. I'm not going to try and wash it anything differently to what it is. But what it is mostly is 5 objectives of the Fandom Menace. Now I want to make it clear, these are my personal opinions and interpretations. No one else has contributed to this video. So if you agree or disagree with this video, you're disagreeing with me, and that's completely fine. If you disagree or agree, everybody is equal. Everybody's opinion matters. Now before we begin, I want to make it clear what the Fandom Menace is. The Fandom Menace is a group of people who came together and they were all shared the same opinion and same issue, and that was the second movie of the current Star Wars trilogy, The Last Jedi. They all almost hated it. They really despise what's happened to Star Wars in The Last Jedi. Now, The Force Awakens, almost all fans were quite happy with The Force Awakens, the first episode of the current Star Wars trilogy. And there might be some forms of dissent and complaint, but there wasn't a following. There wasn't a large group of people who were coming together over the anger of Star Wars until The Last Jedi come along. When The Last Jedi come along, things changed very differently, and people started to come together, making videos and just expressing how unhappy they were with what's happened with Star Wars, how they felt that something they loved and cherished was just destroyed in a single movie. And again, if you disagree with that opinion, if you like The Last Jedi, that's completely fine. I'm not here to change people's opinions. If you agree or disagree, again, it's completely fine. But the Fandom Menace is quite a large group of people, and it's growing quite steadily in terms of the number of people and also the views and subscribers they're getting. Now, I posted these 4 images because these are 4 prominent members of the Fandom Menace. But one thing I want to make it really clear is there's often this misconception that the Fandom Menace is all white men, and that's completely false. If you've been told that, it's probably come from the media. You will be able to go online and you'll be able to find, as you can see, there'll be women, there'll be black men, there'll be Mexican men, there'll be white men, all coming together with the same issue. It doesn't discriminate. If there's somebody who is upset with Star Wars and they want Star Wars to go back to what it was, which was great movies, you're not going to be excluded. If you come from anywhere in the world and you have these same issues and you want to be part of the Fandom Menace, you're not going to be excluded. There's people from all over the world. There's people from Australia, Europe, America, Central America, all part of this group. Because it doesn't discriminate against certain people, it's just a certain belief that what's happened to Star Wars isn't what they want, that it's not what they believe should be happening. So if you've been told that the Fandom Menace is all white men, then that's completely false. And the reason is, in my opinion, is the media use what's called majorityism. It's where they blame the majority of people because it's actually easier. So let's say, for example, you've got America and 20% of the population is black and 60% is white. They'll blame the white people because they don't want to encourage the white people to attack the black people who are the minority, because it could trigger some sort of form of hatred and almost even physical attacks on the minority of the people. So if they blame majority, the minority aren't going to attack the majority because they'll be out them. And the media won't blame the minority because they don't want to trigger the majority to attack the minority. So the media will be a mixture of very clever and also very lazy. They'll just blame one group of people and they'll select white men. And if the media wants to do that, if the media want to blame white man, I'm a white man. If the media wants to blame me, they can do. I don't really care because I know the truth. I can go online and I can find people from all walks of backgrounds, black, white, Mexican, male, female, all part of this group. So I know the truth. If the media want to reject the truth, more for them. We know what the media are like. So that is what the Fandom Menace is. It's a group of people from all walks of backgrounds with the same opinion. They're unhappy with The Last Jedi. And as they come together, they start to share the opinions of other movies. So currently it's Captain Marvel. Many fans, movie fans, are unhappy with Captain Marvel because it's too political. And they want their blockbusters and big budget movies to just be forms of entertainment and escapism, like they were when they were children. Because that's what works. You know, you watch these big blockbuster movies, it's like you can have popcorn, you can have fun, you can laugh, you can watch some good ideas, but it's all about entertainment. It's a way of escapism. That's the key word. They want escapism. They don't want to be lectured to. They don't want to receive political messages telling them they're wrong or they're right, or the person that they're sat next to is better than them or worse than them. They just want entertainment. So that is an overview of who the Fandom Menace is. Now again, if you disagree, if you agree, please leave comments below. I'm always open to people's opinions. But I'm going to go to the first objective of the Fandom Menace, and that is to focus on storytelling. So the Fandom Menace want movies just to focus on storytelling, and that's what happened to traditional big budget movies. So if we look at the first blockbuster movie, which is Jaws, it just focused on the story. There was no heavy layer of politics in the movie. Now if you go back to Jaws, you can say that the cast was almost exclusively male. Now there is obviously an issue with that, but if it had female characters, they wouldn't say the female are better than the men or worse than the men, or they wouldn't inject any sort of feminism or politics into the storyline. They would just say, right, the captain of the ship or the scientist of the ship is female. It would just be like an occurrence or a coincidence. They wouldn't actively seek to inject females or males into certain roles, because that would get in the way of the storytelling. People go to watch blockbuster movies for the storytelling, not for the political narratives. The Fandom Menace want movies to focus firstly on storytelling. And I've included Wonder Woman because that is also what they did. Gal Gadot has come out and said that they didn't want the movie to be heavily focused on feminism or female issues. And Gal Gadot has said that they wanted Wonder Woman to be a normal, regular person who had these amazing abilities. And they did that really well, and that's what mass appeal is. You attract the mass market by being someone who's very normal and has flaws, makes mistakes, is a regular person, someone can relate to. And that's one of the reasons why Wonder Woman was a huge success. And the Fandom Menace, although they've been accused of it, there's no real proof that they've gone out and attacked this movie. Because if you go online, you'll see very positive reviews of the movie. There was no review bombing of Wonder Woman because people could see that Wonder Woman as a character was quite a normal person who was going through their particular life. They didn't have these heavy political issues. They didn't have these prejudices towards men or women or black men or white men. It was just a very normal character. So that is objective number one. Objective number two is to end the use of cynical marketing. So if you take the example of Captain Marvel, which is coming up soon, it's being released on International Women's Day. Now, International Women's Day is a very important movement that's looking for equality in the workplace and equal opportunities. So why would a movie, any movie, regardless of what it is, want to hijack International Women's Day? It could be a fantastic movie that tells the story of a female character, but why try to hijack or utilise International Women's Day and take away publicity from what they've done? This is a movement that's got together to create an area where people can go to. People can go to the International Women's Day website and learn about those issues, real life issues. A movie at the end of the day is fiction. Why throw a fictional story in front of an important issue like International Women's Day and try to hijack it? Personally, and many people believe that it's quite sad to do that. You have these real life issues taking place, and then these businesses come along and try to use them to attract attention to their movies so they can make more profits. That's not what movies should be doing, and I myself quite angry that Captain Marvel is trying to do that. Yes, it's a female character. Yes, it's a big budget movie, but we've had it before. There's been many female characters that have come before, like Wonder Woman and Princess Leia many years ago, that have done extremely well and are great characters. Why hijack an International Women's Day event just to help promote a movie? It's very sad. It's really disgusting, to be honest, in my opinion. Another one is this silly use of the word hero. Now, hero isn't based on the use of a man. It isn't a gender-based word. It's just a word, and it's being turned into like this male or female hero, or even sometimes shero. It's a word. Just because it has the word he, her inside it, or even he, the first two letters are H-E. Why try and turn it into a gender-based word? Because all you're going to do is confuse children. So children will see the word hero and they'll think it's a gender-based word when it isn't. It's really sad. It's just trying to manipulate an English language to help sell a movie. It's just very, very cynical marketing that turns some people away. Some people can see what's happening. Disney is trying to hijack International Women's Day and trying to hijack the English language just to make more bucks, to make more profit. It's really sad. Now, number 3 is to deliver escapism. People go to the movies. Now, people go to the movies for political movies, perhaps smaller budget movies which tell a particular issue to a small group of people. That is completely fine. They can be done fantastically well. If you take Quentin Tarantino movies, They have a huge element of race relations and that element of politics around race, and they're done extremely well, very, very clever. And they are smaller budget movies or a big blockbuster movie. That's not what people are looking for. People are looking for escapism. And you can have a small element of politics in a big budget movie. Like, for example, take Wonder Woman, had the element of Nazis. But it wasn't rammed down people's throats. It was part of the storyline. It felt very natural. When you try to inject these elements of politics as if you're lecturing to people, it really turns people away. So the Fandom Menace want movies just to deliver escapism, and it's great entertainment. Because if you go on TV now, if you go onto the news, and if you go onto chat shows, you'll see politics almost everywhere. We're surrounded by politics, mostly because of Donald Trump, which is perhaps understandable. That's a different element. But if you want escapism, if you want to go to the cinema and watch a movie and just forget all about politics and to have fun and to see, you know, explosions and great interesting storylines and something original, that's what blockbusters are. They're not a place for people, for a production company to inject their personal opinions upon you. So objective number 3 is to have movies that deliver escapism. Now number 4 is to respect the audience, and that is what Marvel has done so far extremely well. It's as if they've got into the minds of the audience and understood what they want. They want these really fun, interesting characters that can tell funny jokes. Then they do these really interesting skills and manoeuvres and explosion. And they make it work extremely well by understanding the audience and respecting the audience. They don't take shortcuts. They don't inject moral superiority. They don't say that, you know, white men are better, or black people are better, or Asian people are better, or white or women are better, men are better. Everybody's equal. Everybody has their own skills and talents. They can have differences, and that's completely fine. And that is one of the reasons why Marvel so far has done extremely well, because they've just given people this form of escapism that isn't based on lecturing to people. They've respected the intelligence of the audience. Another person who's done that is George Lucas. There's many people out there, perhaps in mostly during the 70s, who respected the intelligence of the audience. They knew that people were intelligent. If you took The Godfather, for example, the people making The Godfather respected that there would be an audience out there who would be intelligent enough to understand what's happening and to follow the storyline. Whereas some movies these days are quite bland and quite boring. There's almost no storyline, because it's as if the producers and the directors believe that the audience out there are just dumb and stupid and won't be able to understand complex issues, so they don't put them in. So number 4 is that the Fandom Menace want to be respected as intelligent people. They don't want to be lectured to. They don't want these very silly, wishy-washy storylines that don't go anywhere and quite bland and boring and just involve car chases or laser shootouts. They want interesting characters. So if you go back to the original Star Wars, there was many different levels of families and different characters that you didn't really understand, and that's what made it intriguing and interesting. So the Fandom Menace wants to be respected as an audience. So objective number 5 is the Fandom Menace want the movie industry to understand the internet. Now it's quite a broad statement, but I'll give you one example. Well, this is Gemma Chen, and she's a very good actress. She was in one of the original Sherlock Holmes episodes from the British TV show. And she was asked in an interview to comment on the whole debacle of Rotten Tomatoes, where they took down their want to see score. And she came out and said that she couldn't understand why fans would want to review a movie before it came out. And that isn't what's happening. It wasn't a review system. It was a want to see system. So, for example, if a James Bond movie was coming out in 4 weeks' time, you can give a score of how excited you are to watch that movie. It's not a review of the movie. So there's people involved in making the movies who don't understand the internet, and that is where there's a lot of friction, because there's people who the only voice they have is to go on the internet and to make YouTube videos or go on Twitter, but the movie industry doesn't understand the internet, and there's this friction where there's a complete misunderstanding and there's this real breakdown in communication. Now, if you take Gemma Chen, she must have been briefed by people on what to say probably from the marketing people. The marketing people told the actresses and actors what to say in the interview, but they're being misled as to what's happening on the internet. So Rotten Tomatoes wasn't a review system, but you have the actors coming out in interviews and saying it is a review system. It's as if the movie industry doesn't understand the internet. And if you go to the official Star Wars YouTube channel, it has 2.6 million subscribers, but the videos perform very poorly. They only get around 10 or 20,000 views per video. So it's as if the movie industry doesn't understand the internet. And I'm going to just bring this back to the whole Fandom Menace. Because the movie industry doesn't understand the internet, they're kind of ignoring those people. They're not listening to what the Fandom Menace have to say. The Fandom Menace could have been avoided, because the Fandom Menace does, or could have, the ability to really cause damage to movies. If the Fandom Menace genuinely don't like a movie, they will go out and make videos explaining why they don't like it, and it could cause production companies to lose a lot of money. It could be 1 or 2%, it could be 20%, it could be 30%, it could be a significant amount of money that these movies can lose, because there's people out there making videos that get hundreds of thousands of views. There's some videos that have got 1 million views. If you say some of those people, half of those people decide they're not going to watch the movie, that's somewhere in the region of $7 million that's just been lost from one video. But if the movie industry engaged with the Fandom Menace, I'm not saying they should pander to them, because these are businesses and they have their own objectives, but if they communicated and the movie industry tried to understand these people's frustration, I don't believe things would be as bad and the Fandom Menace wouldn't exist. And I want to clarify that the Fandom Menace doesn't really want to be doing what they're doing. They want to watch great movies like they had before you had the whole change of these elements such as politics injected into movies. They want to watch Star Wars movies that are great. And when The Last Jedi came along, they decided they're not happy at all, and their only option is to go on the internet and make videos attacking it. It's the only option they had for them to be listened to, for them to have the Star Wars movies that they believe is what Star Wars is about. So the objective number 5 is they want the movie industry to understand the internet and to understand the Fandom Menace. So this is my interpretation of the 5 objectives of the Fandom Menace. And it may come across as a manifesto, and that's kind of what it is essentially. But like I said at the beginning of the video, if you agree or disagree, that's completely your choice. If you like to leave a comment below, please feel free. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. If you like this video, please like and also subscribe to this channel. It's completely your choice. But for me, these are the 5 key objectives of the Fandom Menace. There may be many more. There may be another 20, key objectives. But for me, these are the most important objectives of the Fandom Menace. And again, if you agree, please leave a comment below. Please like and share. So thank you for watching.